date, in Nigeria, they happen to have taken the major, the largest number when it comes to the number of people who are viewing our platform. Why? Because they are able to consistently come up with new things, new ideas that are useful to their own audience. Then the next thing that we are going to look, aside creativity, just one definition, I didn't come up with as many, so that we'll have enough time to discuss together in the course of the session. Aside creativity, the other key thing we're looking at, because we're discussing creativity and innovation. Innovation is the practical implementation of ideas that result in the introduction of new goods or services, or improvement in offering goods or services. I take that again. Innovation is the practical implementation of ideas that result in the introduction of new goods or services, or improvement in offering goods or services. And that's why from the example or the definition that, some of us gave earlier on creativity and innovation, you will notice that creativity solely has to do with the ideas we generate. Then innovation has to do majorly around the implementation of most of these ideas. Now, don't get me wrong. At the creativity level, when you apply certain ideas, even if it is not fully from the perspective of innovation, of course, in either ways it can be applied. But let's take it further, and I believe there are going to be more in-depth explanation to that. Now, I want us to take on one quote from Ben-Gurion. Ben-Gurion happens to be one-time Prime Minister of Israel. He said, all the experts are expert on what was. Meaning, if you are bragging that you are an expert in the age we are in today, you're already obsolete. Because what you are doing, a 15, 18-year-old boy can study with technology and vision. They will make more money. Is it not happening today? If it's happening today, type yes. Where young people are coming up with crazy ideas. There are people who have lived long before them, but with technology and many things, they are actually coming up with crazy ideas that are turning the world, upside down. So he said, all the experts are expert on what was. There is no expert on what will be. In other words, to become an expert on the future, vision must replace experience. So if you are bragging that you have experience, be careful, because a young person in today's age can make your experience look obsolete by the application they have, because they are able to what? Turn their, vision, replace that vision. Replace that experience with the vision. Now, I want to take us through some aspect where we look at a practical application of creativity and innovation. Now, back in 2006, there has never been any company in the world as of 2006 that have, I'm talking about the mobile world, telephone companies. There was no company in the world that has up to 1 billion customers. There was none as of 2006. But something happened in 2007. One particular company came up with a statement and record for the year. They were able to hit 1 billion customers. And amazingly, that company was Nokia. Nokia had 1 billion customers. And one of their boasts is that, can anyone catch the cell phone king? Because they see themselves as the cell phone king, and they were not wrong. Because creativity and innovation can push you to a particular level in life, or get you to a particular level. And when you stop creating, or when you stop innovating, it's a matter of time. You're going to be out of the market, or you're going to be out of the scene completely, or you're going to be dropped from first down to the 30th, if possible. That's, you may even be lost somewhere within the ranking. So you see, that same year that Nokia was bragging of 1 billion customers, there was another company. And that company, which we know so well, is called Apple. As at 2007, the same year that Nokia had 1 billion customers, Apple had less than 2 to 3 million customers. Now, you can't even imagine the difference between these two companies. But you see, one of the company, which is Nokia, had 1 billion customers, and the other one had less than 3 to, I think, less than 3 to 5 million customers. Now, that margin is crazy. Although we know that Apple's products were more premium than, of course, than that of Nokia. But interestingly, there's something that happened when Apple came in line in the entire mobile industry. Now, when it comes to creativity and innovation, it's very important we know some very vital things, which I'm going to mention very briefly. But before I said that, few years after 2007, this happens to be the CEO of Nokia. As at 2007, Nokia the total revenue for Nokia was banking around 110 billion US dollars. But guess what? The same year where they have more than over 90% of customers than many mobile companies in the world, other companies took up creativity and innovation to another level. But they were bragging of their number. They were bragging of the customers. They were almost saying, we own all the customers. But guess what? They are building things for people, what they think the people want. But what Apple, for instance, was doing, they were trying to find out from the people, what do you really want? What exactly do you want? They are coming up with an innovative idea. They're coming up with something very creative to offer the market. And as time goes on, Nokia, bragging with that huge number, begin to drop in revenue. There were some particular level of innovation they will have taken from that level to jump from that curve. They didn't take it, and that's called change. They refused to change. And a few years down the line, the CEO, I'll shock us with that statement. Now, they were, as of 2007, 110 billion. But guess what? Nokia was later sold to Microsoft for less than $15 billion. Far less than $15 billion. They were worth, as of 2007, now listen, 2007, they were worth 110 billion. But when they were selling to Microsoft, they were selling for less than $15 billion. What happened to the remaining 90-something billion? I think it's even more than that. You can go and do your search. Now, that simply means they lost on innovation at some point. They lost on, they may have the creativity, but they lost majorly around the area of innovation. The same Peter Drucker said, in every generation, one thing that does not change is marketing and innovation. They will continue to get better and better. Meaning they had opportunity to keep getting better than Apple because they had almost the same money that Apple started with. What am I trying to say? We'll get that, the point I'm trying to explain as we go further. Now, Nokia later sold, and the CEO said, we didn't do anything wrong. But if you go and check the testimonial of Nokia, go and check the testimonial of Nokia. I mean, the real Nokia. Part of that testimonial in that, Part of that testimonial was simply this. That this is part of their testimonial, that they had opportunity to change, but management kicked on many things. There was opportunity to innovate, but so many things were being kicked down, and they dropped. And guess what? While they dropped, and Microsoft bought them, Microsoft tried with creativity and innovation, you know, and what they were able to build as at 4 years ago, they were able to build from that less than $15 billion, at least they tried. As at 4 years ago, they are 21 billion US dollars. Talking of total net worth. So what actually happened to Nokia? That's one side. But look at the other part. The same 2007, Apple had 104 billion. But as at 4 years ago, their total net worth was 2.1 trillion US dollars. What do you think happened? What changed? Now, when you dig deep into their story, it falls or cycles around innovation. And when you hear innovation, especially for companies, for businesses, whether it's a small business, I'm sure some of us are already in business. Where we fail most of the time is in the area of innovation. And if, for instance, Nokia used to do what we call iteration, there's a key word that happens between creativity and innovation. It's called iteration, especially in the tech industry. Iteration is simply that we focus on 3 key things, which is test, tweaking, and modification. Test, tweak, modify. Test, tweak, modify. Now, what most people don't know is that when you hear iPhone 5 to the company is a test. You that bought it to use, to the company, they are watching you to see how you are responding to it. Oh, I love the camera. Oh, I don't like this. Now, is the feedback from the review, the things that customers don't like, that they go back to tweak, then they modify. After modifying, they come up with what we call iPhone 6 iteration. And that is majorly innovation. And major part of innovation is born out of creativity. So you need to understand that they build a cycle of iteration as a company. Now, you can be iterating 6 months later, but a company like Apple, if you go and check their iteration rate, it has gone as far as almost weekly, certain number of weeks. They make sure they get the reviews, the feedback of customers, and ask themselves, what is working very well for these customers? How do we improve it more intensely so that the customers will love it so much? What are the things people are complaining for in the market? And when they know these things, they now go, how do we correct them? And that is the power of it, the usage of innovation in industry. Not something you do once in a year, but something you do almost at a particular phase of your business. And that's why we'll keep hearing of iPhone whatever series. What they're actually doing is not just coming with a new product, it's coming with a new feedback of what customers really want. So that now brings us to this point where we now begin to understand, right, that creativity provides the foundation of new and unique ideas, while innovation is the process of transforming those ideas into tangible outcome. And this is what exactly Apple did differently from Nokia. To tell you that Nokia has all it takes to be able to match up with the industry, if not even possible, doing better than Apple today. But they were comfortable with where they are. 1 billion customers. Can you beat that? But they lost that with time because of the kind of product they came up with. And you see, in your business or the particular business you're about to go to, creativity and innovation is not something we learn in class. It should be something that we look on whatever we are working on presently. How do we drive this more deeper to the point that people can be able to see reasons why I'm bringing this into my business? When I resigned from the telecommunication industry about 15 years ago, and I moved into the consulting industry, people said something is wrong with me. How will I leave a job that pays me 6 figures and get into a job that I'm now an apprentice? In fact, the first 3 years when I left the telecommunication industry, I was working without salary. I was given tips, but yes. Why? Because I needed to learn the process of consulting. And that's what brought me in to different aspects of consulting, to my contact with Tony Limu Foundation, to different platforms that I've engaged with today. And I'm here with us today in class. So you see, creativity and innovation is tied to even some of the things that every one of us are doing in our respective plight of life. But you see, it's very important we know that creativity provides that foundation of new and unique ideas, while innovation is the process of transforming that ideas into tangible products. And those tangible products could be the chair you're sitting on, the car you're driving if you're in your car, it could be the laptop you're using, it could be anything around you right now. Do you know that some of us have through our creativity, we have crazy ideas, but we have never implemented? And some of us thought we came to apply for a course. But I want to tell you that this is a setup. You didn't necessarily apply for a course. You apply for something, a course that will actually strike you to go back and pick that your idea that you have never used and put it back to use. Because people will want to connect with what you have. People want to connect with what we all have. And what is working, someone can innovate around it. And this is what I bring to us, not necessarily to introduce a normal routine that we see in class. So creativity is one of the ends, innovation is the second end. Creativity may be like the soft side of from the creative thinking to where we're able to come up with divergent ideas. The innovation has to do with more of the convergent ideas, where bringing the ideas together towards channeling or solving a particular problem. So you see that creativity and innovation, they work together to generate solutions. They work together to improve offerings, take risks, and differentiate in the market. They work together to ensure that our communities find order in the kind of product and services that are being served our people. Most times we call certain things Nigerian made. I don't like Nigerian made. We can bring amazing creativity and innovation around what people laugh at and call Nigerian made, and make people begin to rush and say, I don't want that Oyibo thing again. I rather want to use this one made in Nigeria. Because I tell us the truth, there are products made within Nigeria that are already taking that global level of quality. There may be few, but there are. So part of this class is not only to get us to receive a certificate, but to challenge the existing culture of our country when it comes to creativity and innovation, and as large entrepreneurship. So I want to just take one case study of a company called Recycle Point. I'm sure some of us know what Recycle Point actually is. It's a company based in Lagos. Recycle Point was started by husband and wife when they returned from UK. I think the wife was working in a bank. I remember where the husband was working, but two of them came together and said, wow, where they stayed in Europe, the place used to be clean, tidy. So they wanted to bring that culture down to Nigeria. So they said, how do we get to this point? I mean, to the point where Lagos becomes like clean. They know that there are other people doing things. Lagos State is sending trucks and private sectors are sending trucks to take the dirt out of the street and all of that. They are aware of that. But you see, when you're coming up with an idea that will end up becoming a business or an enterprise, whether social enterprise, you know that other people are doing it, but it's not enough. So you're coming up with your level of quality to ensure that you win over the market. And this is exactly what they started to do. The wife then was still working. The wife, her name is Chioma. She was still working. The husband, I think, was working as well. So what they decided to do was to build a simple system for collection of plastic waste, bottles, some key things. So instead of just moving round, collecting it every day, they share some kind of collection materials to certain people who are interested, so that they have a particular nylon bag that collects plastic. They have a particular nylon that collects bottles. They shared it such that it's easier to be able to assemble together. So this was what they did. So they shared it within their communities. And when they shared these bags within communities, after a week or so, they go to collect them. Now, everywhere they collect them, they give them a point. I'm going to show us briefly how they do that. And I'm sure after this class, somebody is going to pick an idea that they were going to start wherever they are in this part of the country. Now, this is what they did. Once they receive those items, they give you a point. So that at a particular time, when that point comes together to get to a particular number, they give you a recharge card. They started with recharge card. I remember, because I've been about 2 or 3 meetings that she shared this story quite a number of years ago. Now, they will give you recharge card. From recharge card, they give a certain amount of money, and gradually they begin to give phones. They begin to give even up to TV sets. Now, they collect these recycled PET bottles and other stuff. They clean them and sell to companies that recycle them. And that was how their journey began. Now, Recycle Points, just for more emphasis, is a waste recycling and social benefit venture that operates an incentive-based scheme, which collect recyclable materials from post-consumers and in turn reward them with points, which they can accumulate and use to redeem or shop for household items offered through their platform called iRecycle Store. Amazing innovation, right? Now, this is what they collect. They collect what we call brown corrugated cartons or papers, right? They collect old newspapers. They collect glass bottles. They collect used beverage cans. They collect PET bottles, and of course, pure water sachets. These are like the major things that they use to give people points. I want to show us how the points are being given. Now, when they give those points, okay, I didn't come up with that particular, I didn't come up with the points that they normally use. But of course, based on your points, you can be able to get a washing machine, you can get a refrigerator, you can get these things you're seeing on your screen. Amazing idea, right? Now, this will now bring us to where we're going to discuss some part of the questions before we wrap up the class today. Now, the idea around this class is not necessarily to go theoretical, but to go more practical, so that we will be able to see where creativity and innovation create that spark for businesses, for individual business, group, team, whatever it is, to help them to be successful. Now, this is a company that all she does is they don't want plastic bottles spread within our communities. These are two couples. And guess what? They started it, it grew, it's still growing. I think about 3-4 years ago, they received a grant of over 200,000 US dollars. They've gotten many grants. Why? Because the idea is very innovative. It's an innovative idea. Apart from the grants, they've received support from Lagos State, they've received support from Oyo State, and couple of organizations that are inclined with climate change kind of activities. So you see, this particular line of business have now spurred us into seeing that there are many businesses quietly running in this country that with more creativity and innovation, they can grow into something very huge. And there are many businesses that are even yet to start. So I was asking someone a question, or rather someone asked a question, what's the difference between problem and challenge? And that now will prepare us for the case study question. It says problem is the situation and challenge is the response. In other words, if you think your community is dirty, you as the one who sees that dirty community, what's your response? Because to you is a challenge. Already the problem exists, but you bringing that solution will end up either making you money, creating value that people will be able to pay for and things like that. There's no time to waste on this. But you see, when we ignore the problem, it gets worse. When we overcome the challenge, things get better. And as business people or entrepreneurs or potential entrepreneurs, one thing we need to note is that our major challenge is to respond to problems within our country. And that's how we engage into creativity or our creative ability and innovation that will change many things that are surrounding us as a people. So let's look at some questions, right? Yes, let's look at this particular question. We're going to respond to it. Redefining value through waste. We'll just look at recycle points together. So I want us to look at the statement and the question and respond in line with creativity and innovation. So you're not necessarily just defining it, but explaining it. So a challenge is already on your screen, but let me just read it. Then I will give room for one. Okay, Lowell has raised his hand. You'll be the first person to speak. A challenge and opportunity recycle point uses a point-based system to incentivize waste collection. How can this approach be further enhanced to make recycling even more engaging and attractive for a wider demographic in Nigeria? So the first person to respond will be Awal. I think I have a few things to say to wrap up the class, but let's have Awal. Awal, you're up.
Good morning, Mr. Aliyu.
Thank you.
I'd like to answer this in a simple way and then talk a bit about my background. I see that this doesn't create any incentives for teenagers to want to recycle. Perhaps it creates incentives for maybe undergrads and older people, more mature people, but it doesn't create any incentive for 13 to 17-year-olds. So I would perhaps add stuff like video games or trips to the mall or some other kind of reward system that appeals to a teenage crowd that doesn't necessarily need permission to recycle stuff. Because I think a 13-year-old or a 17-year-old will be able to recycle stuff. They already take out the garbage. So I feel like that's an incentive for younger people to get into this. And I don't know if you'd like to hear about my background, or you'd like to go on with the class.
If you can do that in a minute, I know you can summarize that after sharing this amazing feedback with us.
Okay, so I'm in this class because I presented at a business creation and growth prerequisite course at Open University. And my idea was a sustainable business idea, sustainable packaging idea. I left my mom's business 5 years ago, even though she's been the major distributor of disposable packaging items in this area for over 15 years. But 5 years ago, I decided that I was going to leave because I didn't want to keep creating waste. And yeah, that's why I'm here.
Wow. Beautiful. Thank you for that feedback, Lawal. Now, interestingly, are we not getting value for this 1 hour? Imagine what Lawal shared within this short time frame. This is something that someone can actually take up as, an opportunity already, merging creativity and innovation. In fact, after 1 week, we will even recognize or believe that you were part of this class. Thank you so much, Awal. So let's listen to Bright Godwin. Then we take on Friday. Bright.
Hello, sir.
Good morning.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So
Hello.
Please,
can I ask the previous question?
Sorry, I don't know who else is speaking.
Sorry,
Bright is speaking.
Isu, let Bright is about to make the next comment, please. I'll get to you. Yeah.
Good morning, house. So you asked about how we can grow the business, the ideas that we can expand it to wider areas. And now, looking at what they've done, they've actually been able to run the business. And based on the grants you talked about, meaning they've expanded.
Go ahead, Bright. You're muted.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I think it was a mistake.
Just go ahead. It's fine.
So I said they've been able to
I think he's having network issue.
Yes, so let's listen to Mr. Friday. Then, Bright, hold on. Friday, please.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity once again, sir. So I want to speak in the context from the northern part of the country, right? Fortunately, I'm involved with the polio eradication program within the country. And one of the major challenges that we're facing right now is due to uncleanliness, which is spreading the virus across the target population, which is on the 5, crippling children. So one of the things that I've been working on is to come across, to develop a concept note, share with the governors in the northern part of the country, precisely in the western, northwest region of the country. Because if you come down to this side, Sokoto, Zamfara, Bastina, all those areas, you see how dirty the community are. And then they have all these drainages that are not well kept, and the virus breed in those drainages. So what we're trying to do is to develop a concept note where they will be able to engage the youth. We have communities where youth associations are formed. So if the government can engage these communities or the youth association and then support them with different kind of incentives, or giving them some kind of form of what we're looking at is more of entrepreneurship, where they will train them free of charge, asking them that if you're able to clean so community, getting all of the waste in those communities and then cleaning the drainages, there is going to be XYZ incentives. Usually we're looking at that entrepreneurial area, and that way we'll have more clean environments within the community. And that way we also have situations where you won't be having that virus spreading through everywhere, even though we are doing more on the health sector. But if we can have everywhere cleaned up, it will reduce that virus. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a powerful feedback, Friday. But one thing I have to encourage you is that, a concept note, there's nothing as powerful as creating one such as that. But the amazing thing about this class is to spawn, apart from having a good grade at the end of the day, but to spawn more creative ability to work in diverse phases or areas within our country. You have identified a problem. How can you or a team that you sit together build or come up with creative ideas or answers or solutions and generate certain applicable answers or innovative kind of approach, such that when you start that, no matter how small, your concept note is speaking with something you've started with already. Don't you think that's a more deeper idea than just sending a concept note? I know you are busy. Don't take me on the debate. We will do that debate later. Sadiq, you are next. After that, okay, Sadiq.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you, Friday.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thank you for the opportunity. Good morning, everyone. Sir, according to the case study that you brought to us, sir, I really appreciate this kind of case study because this time around, the country is presently facing cholera, especially in Lagos. So discussing this kind of issue is very advantageous this time around. So you brought a case study concerning Recycling Point as a company that is practicing this enterprise in Lagos. And you asked us that how can it be gamified and enhanced further? So using my own creative thinking, I think the best way to enhance that practice is to, first of all, improve what is being used as incentives to those who are bringing their debts. For instance, they are being given chairs, TV, iron. They can widen the incentives by turning it to like motorcycle, car. But I think it should be in this way. Instead of doing it in the form of individual communities, they can widen the scope, like in form of local government or state. So each of the local government or state that produce more points, individual points will be added together. All those people who bring out their debts in the community, their points will be added together. And each local government will be compared to another local government. Okay? So after comparing it, it results, the winner will now be taken to a media house so as to show to other outside communities or states that this is what is being done here. Okay? So such a person will be presented with actual gifts, not fake gifts that some people used to use for their promotion. Okay? They will be presented with more valuable gifts. So in so doing, other states, other countries can start to emulate it. So that's my own view concerning that, sir. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right, thank you, Sadiq. Really appreciate that amazing feedback. I love the way you channel it together. All right, thank you so much. Mr. Oluwayemi Isaac. We can't hear you.
Thank you, sir. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
We're not lying down, so we can't hear you. I'm just
okay. And I can hear you clearly. So
okay.
Maybe it's network.
All right.
I just unmuted myself and then switch on the video.
Oh, we can hear you. Yeah.
So I am one of the NOUN students anyway. I'm in my final year, and I love this program so much. When I was included, I was so happy. And I actually want to share my own experience. I'm studying computer science right now. So I was able to develop computer-based test software. And e-learning management, that's the way I can call it. So and I've been practicing it with other schools, other private schools, introducing it to them as for online results, and also to simulate computer-based tests, just like the way we normally have it in the NOUN. So I noticed that this online learning will be a way out because Nigeria population is increasing geometrically. So, and to the extent that a conventional university might not be able to take all the population that want to study. So I am trying to see, I'm bringing it as an opinion, if we see more grants or support, we can extend to wider area. The challenges I'll be facing is that some schools, they don't have teachers who show interest in computer-based program. So I have to organize training. I have to talk to some of them. So presently now, I have just maybe 10 schools. That's what I have on my portal now. So bringing this opinion to this program, if I can get more other suggestions, or if I can get any other innovative ideas that can expand this. So basically, I operate in Lagos, Lekki area. So I actually want to extend to other states, which I believe it will help. So that's my contribution, sir.
Okay, thank you, Oluwayemi. You contributed and you are looking for added solution.
Yes, sir.
You want to do wayo for us in this class. All right.
No, I'm just expressing my opinion.
I'm just kidding. But the truth there is, if you are able to get up to 10 schools, then you replicate the process. The 10 schools, if you can replicate yourself to 10 different leaders in the 10 schools that can do 10 schools each, you already have 100 schools. This is just impossible. We don't have time to break this down. So
Okay.
is it Isu? You wanted saying something earlier. Arezo. Isu Arezo.
All right, sir. Good morning, sir. Thank you. I wanted the speaker that spoke on the recycle process to throw more light on some of the challenges encountered and how he was able to overcome them.
Okay, well, this is more or less like a case study. I didn't approach the company to ask them in details whether they are having particular challenges and stuff like that. But all I knew was that they started so small. I met them at the stage they started, I think, way back 11 years ago when they started, and because we were at a particular conference together. And they just started, as I said, they were working and people were bringing these bottles in their own house. So when they collect them, they prepare them, they sell to recycle companies. The money they get from that recycled product, they now, part of the money is what they share to these people as points. Of course, they must have encountered lots of problems, which I'm not in the view to begin to respond to that. We're actually taking a case and responding to the basic things we can actually identify. And if need be, we can pull their attention. I know I am just one phone call away to Chioma, the Chief Operating Officer, and her husband, just one phone call away. We can bring her into class and she can tell us, okay, these are the challenges they are facing and all of that. And of course, they will be glad if we do this with them. But we want to do this with all of us to see ways and areas we can improve on our individual project, individual businesses, and help other people aside getting a very good grade in class. So I'm seeing 3 hands. Okay, our time is almost up. Let's listen to Love. I really want us to still share our heart. After Love, we now have Honor Regina from Makodi. Love, go ahead.
Open.
You're muted.
Yeah, I unmuted myself now. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Love.
Okay, in
Aditi, my
listening to
love.
the class,
Love.
yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. I am a student in NOUN University. Okay, listening to this innovator, I'm also managing a restaurant. So I have been looking around me in this my area. Most of the times I use a lot of plastic things. I buy a lot of plastic things, and after using them, I look for where to dispose them. I see them litter everywhere. So when you talk about the recycling company, I was like, wow, okay, there's something like this going on. And I've not heard about them in this area that I reside. So I want to know if I can get their contact. Maybe they have someone that is doing something like that in Cross River, where I can contact them to always come around to pack these things, because it's really disturbing. Most times I end up burning them and just waste them. So it interests me to know that there are people using that to do something good for, the betterment of our country. So I would really like to have their contact, sir.
Okay, that's fine. Well, I think you just Google them, you get their information. Recycle point. Just Google, you get it straight. You can send email. They have information for their customer through their customer service. They will get in touch with you. So I think for that one, I don't need to send you anything personal. Honor Regina, thank you, love. Honor
Okay,
Regina.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma.
Honestly, I want to appreciate you for this wonderful lecture. It's so amazing. I don't have much to say. The lecture is well understood. But all I want to ask for, I'm a staff of NOUN anyway. I plead that you make the module available to our base so that we can still go through. It's so interesting. Thank you very much. Thank you.
That is the video. Dr. Solomon, that is the video.
Okay, you said?
I said, I think what she is referring to is the video. That's the recorded video.
Yes. No, apart from this, I spoke to
Dr. Sam.
Dr. Sam that I'm going to create a class that extend this, because I've done this with Lagos Business School, EDC, couple of topics outside this. So I'm going to make a more longer class that capture key things. Apart from this recording, it will be like an added material that people can go listen and find value for them. You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. So
Dr. Solomon, how many questions do you think you can take again, because we are exceeding our time? I think we have five hands up.
So should we do, no, it's not 5, it's 3. 2 have answered. So should we give?
Please, if you have answered, bring down your hand.
Should we give?
Okay, let's go on with it.
Okay, after this,
let's go on with the 3.
We are done. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Madam Mayor.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
So, Anne Chinedu. Anne, love, you can drop your hand. If Anne is not responding, Mr. or Engineer Charles Wobia.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Yes, I want to make my contribution to this recycling business. From the case study we are studying, the company in question is trying to solve the problem of the community and at the same time make profit out of it. But I am looking at it differently. We can still solve this problem. We can still solve this problem by encouraging, mark the word, encouraging avoidance. By encouraging avoidance in our society. I could remember some years back in a country like Germany. I happened to be around there early 2014 or thereabouts. I was there and I noticed something. They encourage you using these plastic materials. When you come to the grocery shops to buy and you're looking for something to pack what you have bought, they will quickly provide for you paper bags and tell you go with the paper bags. They are free of charge. When you ask them, you want to buy plastic bags, they will tell you they don't sell plastic bags. So it becomes that it forces you. If you must use a plastic bag, you must bring it along from your home to use in buying in some of these shops. And when you insist, they ask you to pay more for them. So if we can encourage our people as a way to solve this problem, by encouraging them, avoid the use of it. Avoid the use of it. Recently in Lagos State, there's a kind of packaging substance that they totally banned because of the that packaging substance. So if this plastics is actually our problem, we can encourage our people to avoid its use, because even when they are used, recycling them will equally involve some other processes which are still hazardous to health.
Okay.
So that's my take, sir.
All right, thank you so much. I need to give us some updates. Do you know by 2050, it has been estimated that if we don't do something, plastic is just one of our problems. There are many problems that we have, but we're looking at creativity and innovation. How do we solve these problems? So let us not be distracted. This is not a waste management class. But one thing I needed to remind us is by 2050, if we are not careful, it's being said that the number of plastic in the ocean will be more than the fish in the ocean by 2050.
Wow.
If we don't, yes, that has been estimated. Wow. But how do we come up with creative ideas? Because anytime you throw something out of the window, that's a problem you are creating. What are the solutions that need to be created? And that's why this class is out to address it. So I will take the last question from Mr. Seidu. Alan Seidu. Alan Seidu. Seidu. I think
unmute yourself, Mr. Seidu.
You are the last person. Sodiq, you have spoken already, so please forgive us.
Okay, sir, well done.
Yes.
Dr. Solomon, well done.
Well done, Saidu.
So my question is, sir, I want to know the source of the recorded video that we are going to download for our revision exercise next time, sir.
Okay, the video I'm going
Dr.
to
Solomon, please let me answer him.
Okay,
please, you will see it in your platform, in our platform.
Okay.
Just keep looking, checking the platform. All the information you want, you will post them there, so that for whatever you are asking for is always in our platform.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Maria.
Thank you, sir.
Have a nice day.
All right, thank you, everyone. We're going to have another exciting moment tomorrow where we will look at how do we foster creativity and innovation. Today was just to introduce part of what we have before us today. So thank you so much. I want to thank NOUN Management, Dr. Sam, and Mariam. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone in class.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Over
Dr. Solomon, thank you so much. Thank you. Because in fact, I've learned one thing today, how they strictly bring in new product and we'll be jumping. We want iPhone 13, we want iPhone 14. Thank you so much. Because the lecture was so interesting. Very interesting.
Thank you.
Please, can I have the audience, please, the participant, listen. Mr. Saidu, please unmute yourself, please. So like I said, Mr. Solomon, thank you so much. Thank you. I've learned a lot from this lecture. Although, you know I'm a student too. So as you are talking, I'm recording my own. I'm putting some notes down. So now, please, when you look at the chat board, you will see the link to fill in your attendance. You know, what we did yesterday is just what you replicate in today's link. And secondly, the next class will be July 2nd. And that is value chain and record keeping. So mark it in your calendar, July 2nd, NEE 003. Aside from the lecture that Dr. Solomon has given us today, if you have any question, you can ask us now. If you don't have, we'll close for today. We are now closing. As far we are closing entirely, you will still go back to your platform and check your quiz, see your assignments, and make sure you carry them along as you do your work in your own background. But we are closing this lecture today if you don't have any question.
Hello, morning, ma.
Morning, sir.
Morning,
Sorry,
class.
I would like to say one or two things when you are through,
Hello,
Dr.
please.
Miriam.
Okay, sir.
Okay, can I continue?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, very grateful, ma, for today's lecture. I enjoyed it better than yesterday's one because of the problems we had with the network. Today's one was very interesting because here, even though it rained, the network was very clear. And I really enjoyed and appreciate this. Thank you for all you people are doing. Thank you very much, man.
We are grateful. Next person. If we don't have any other questions, so our director will come in now to speak to us. Sir, you have the floor.
All right. Thank you so very much, Dr. Miriam, for coordinating this. Dr. Solomon, thank you so very much. I also have learned a lot, and I know that that is going to come up in your examination. It's going to come up in your examination. I hope you are listening, Balogun Philomena.
Okay.
Yes. He talked about divergent and convergent. For me, that was something that blew my mind. The divergent and the convergent. So expect a case study, something around that in your examination. I don't know if you caught that. That's for me is a hallmark of Nokia and Apple. Yes, the divergent and the convergent. We'll still share the video. If I hear you well, Dr. Solomon, you will want to have an extra class to expand on this for whoever is interested, correct?
Yeah.
Sir?
Very interested, sir.
I'm very interested.
What I said, well, we can actually arrange that for those who are interested. But one of the things I said I was going to do was to put this class collectively. I'll get it recorded, drop a link so that they can watch. That's if they want to get, because the time we have will not allow us. It's good to listen to ourselves, give feedback, but for not having interruption, I will come up with a simple session like what I used to do for Enterprise Development Center. That's Lagos Business School. I can put one whole video on creativity and innovation, aside from what we have discussed and what we have discussed, so that they delve in for deeper understanding.
All right, thank you. I think it's a synchronous method he wants to use. He will give us a recorded version of what he will have said in person, and we will send it to you. Please listen to it. I personally will listen to it and come up with questions for your examination. Now, remember what he said. It's not about you just passing and getting certificates. It's whether you can have a divergent thinking and bring it to a convergent thinking, and have a tangible outcome. For me, that is a hallmark, that can transform and put you on a very good place, to make impact in whatever you are doing. So having said that, I'm posting assignments also on the chat box, the assignment today. You are going to do your quiz also on the platform. If you're having challenge, please, like we said, go and just get in touch with any of the admin person on our WhatsApp group. We will help you. We've sent videos there that can help you. We'll send charts, processes that can help you. Please follow those procedures. If you are still having challenge, please get to the admin and ask for help. So a lot of you have submitted your assignment for yesterday. Please, we will give you, because of the challenges you're having in logging in and all of that, we will give you time this week to submit your both assignments latest by Monday. By Sunday. Okay, by Sunday we expect that you will have uploaded your case studies for both creativity and innovation and entrepreneurial thinking. So I think that's what we will have to say. We have a lot of you registered, but in the class we're only seeing about 80. That's okay for me. It's not the number, it's the impact and the take home for many of you. But if you have those who have registered for this course and they are having challenges, reach out to them and let them come on board quickly. Okay, there's a minimum courses that you cannot afford not to do for you to be certified. So that's just what I would say for now. Anything? The link for the... Yes, I've posted the link for the assignment and the attendance is there also. So any other question, post it on the chat box where you can take it without wasting other people's time. Very important. Make sure you fill the attendance. Very, very important. I know we are familiar with it already. The quiz, for the link for the quiz, go to your platform, the eLearn platform. The eLearn platform, please. Go to the eLearn platform.
I have not been able to access that too.
Okay, you should be able, but if not, meet the admin. Connect with the admin. Are you on our WhatsApp platform?
Yes, sir. I am.
We have shared videos on how to get to that platform. We have shared the steps you need to take to get to that platform. Please follow the video. If you are still having challenge, the Deputy Director ICT, Mr. William Ayonete, who is there, Joseph is also available to help you. These are a very powerful technical team. Then we also have Halima also. They will be available to help you.
Okay, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Mohammed Alawa.
Okay, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you for the opportunity given. The lectures went, but sir, I want to reiterate our during matriculation. You know that alumni student, whom you say we are working with our president to fix the problems, so we can get our matric number. We can be able to do other registration for us to assess assignment and other distance. We have been joining, but today you say Thursday to Friday we'll be able to resolve on how we get our matrix number so that we can work and interact freely. Freely. Thank you. I'm the National Organizing Secretary, Alumni Association NOUN. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mohammed. I will work closely with the technical team who gets it across to you. If you are on our WhatsApp group, we're going to post it on the WhatsApp group. And if you are not there, we'll send it to the president who will communicate it to every one of you. That's the third batch, and the third batch of this program. Any other question? Once again, on behalf of the Vice Chancellor of National Open University and his directorates, I want to say a big thank you to Dr. Solomon Aliyu and also Dr. Miriam, who coordinated this group. So please, if you have any challenge, WhatsApp will be open for you to share the next 1 hour. I say a big thank you to you for attending. Please do your assignments, and also thank you, sir. Do your assignments, take your quiz, and by the time he sends the video, I'll communicate the same to you. I wish you the best of the day. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much.